So we will start in another 5 minutes. We'll wait for some other people to join also. So hello everybody, very good afternoon to all from the DoPrep team. My name is Anshu Sen and I am an IIT Kanpur BTech graduate. I did my BTech in chemical engineering in the year 2003 and I have over 5 years of experience in the field of BITSAT coaching and 15 years in IIT JEE coaching. So I have co-authored BITSAT study guide and have successfully designed and delivered the DoPrep's BITSAT test series over a period of 5 years. And in our team, we have people who have studied from BITS campuses like BITS Pilani and BITS Hyderabad. So in this webinar, we will be going through the queries that you will post over here. So as I can see in the chat window, there are a couple of queries which have already come. So we'll start by taking them one by one. So KNV Kishore has just posted why BITSAT. So why BITSAT, KNV Kishore? For what I understand from your question is that you are asking me why do you need to study for BITSAT? So let me just give you a background information about BITS examination and the BITS campuses. So this examination was started in the year 2005, and via this examination you get admission to Pilani, Hyderabad, Goa and Dubai campuses. And BITS Pilani was recently ranked among the top 4 engineering colleges by India Today, and 5th by Outlook India, and 7th by The Week. And it has been recognized by the government of India in 2018 as one of the 6 Indian institutes of eminence. A 2012 news report showed that BITSAT had become more competitive than the IIT JEE examination in terms of the number of aspirants to the number of seats available. And since 2011, the number of applicants for BITSAT has been increasing steadily from 1,23,000 to approximately 3 lakhs last year. So as you can see from the numbers, the importance of BITS has been increasing gradually. And there are a number of career options which get the career options which you get after qualifying from BITS campus is almost at par with that which you get after qualifying from IIT. In fact, it is much better than the career options which you get after qualifying from NIT. So I think you should go ahead and go and start preparing for BITSAT 2019. As the examination is a little bit easier than JEE Main, and it is very easy to actually crack BITSAT exams. I hope I have answered this question. If you have still any more doubts regarding this question, you can post it in the chat window. Kishore. Aman Sani has just asked, Sir, I am confused that I should prepare for JEE or BITSAT within 2 months left. So Aman, this JEE that you are talking about is JEE Main, I suppose. So if you are looking for JEE Main examination as well as BITSAT examination preparation both at the same time, then that can be done. So because the same for JEE Main and BITSAT. The only difference that you have actually is the type of questions that is asked in BITSAT. So for example, in JEE Main, you will get a question which is a little bit more complex. And the number of questions, which you can obviously understand as a number of questions that you will be attempting in the 3 hours time span is only 90. Whereas in BITSAT, you will be attempting 150 questions, including the excluding the bonus questions, that is 12, in the same time span of 3 hours. So if we just go by the logic of the number of questions that you have to attempt in the 3 hours, BITSAT always gives you a direct and formula-based question. So if you are going through the chapters, the concepts, and the formulae which are there in the chapters thoroughly, and you are practicing only those type of questions which are basically going to be asked in BITSAT examination, I think that would suffice. And in any case, you will have to do a level 1, level 2 question in each chapter before you go to a more difficult question for JEE Main. So preparation for JEE Main and BITSAT can be done together. So do not get confused by this particular thing, whether you should only prepare for JEE Main, because if you are preparing for JEE Main, you are also preparing for BITSAT. The only difference is that on a daily basis, you need to practice those type of questions which are going to be asked in BITSAT for around 3 to 4 hours. I hope I have answered this question, Aman. Sampath has asked, is NCERT enough for BITSAT preparation? So Sampath, NCERT for chemistry, especially for organic and inorganic chemistry, is more than enough for BITSAT, because the theory that is present in NCERT for the class 12 boards examination as well as for class 11 is very in-depth theory. If you have time, you can go through all the content present in those chapters. But if you are having a shortage of time, that is, you are also preparing for boards simultaneously, and you're also preparing for JEE Main, then you can prepare, or you can go through a book which can actually give you the gist of those chapters in a few pages, so that you do not miss out the theory that is given in NCERT, as well as you get the time for quick study. For maths and physics, NCERT will not give you the complete syllabus that is required for BITSAT preparation, because if you look at the JEE Main syllabus, it's almost the same as that of BITSAT. And for JEE Main, the mathematics and the physics theory that is present in NCERT is not enough. So you need to go through a book which can give you all the syllabus coverage and in a very comprehensive manner. So we have come out with a book which is specifically designed for people who can study for BITSAT in, say, 60 to 70 days. So all the theory that is present in this book is given in a comprehensive manner. And after the theory, at the end of the theory of each chapter, you get a set of practice questions. And these questions have been designed keeping in mind the type of questions that is actually asked in BITSAT, and we have done that because we have that knowledge, because we have people who have appeared for BITS examination in our team. So you can go ahead and have a look at this book also and start preparing immediately. Then Kishore has asked, what is the difficulty level of BITSAT? So Kishore, the difficulty level of BITSAT is more of the level of 1 and 2. So if let me just elaborate on this level 1 and level 2. So level 1 questions are those questions which are direct questions. So these are questions which are basically coming out from the theory. So they will be direct questions in which you will you will either know the answer or you do not know the answer. So you need not do any type of calculation. These type of questions are generally asked in physics, especially in the modern physics chapters, semiconductors example, and modern physics, and in chemistry, in inorganic and organic. Level 2 questions are those questions which will require you to actually know what formula is going to be applied in that question. So if you know the formula of each and every chapter, I think that would suffice more than enough. And you should know how to, you should know what the data is given in the question, as in you should be able to interpret the data that is given in the question and write it in the form of symbols, and then just put those values in the formula and derive the answer. This may require some amount of time, but not more than 2 minutes, because it may have some amount of heavy calculation. But if I am looking at a question from JEE Main, so this question from JEE Main may involve concepts from multiple chapters. So a physics question may involve a concept from a concept from mechanics as well as from electricity, for electrostatics. So, but in BITSAT, you will not get such questions. You will get a very direct question which will only involve the concepts of that chapter itself. I don't know this type of question. He is asking this. Sam is asking how much donation. Sam, there is no such thing as donation for BITS admission. You have to go through the examination and you have to score a minimum of 280 in order to get admission in the engineering courses that is offered in BITS campuses. Is BITSAT prep guide enough for examination, including chemistry NCERT? So Aman, yes, it is more than enough, because the amount of questions that you will get to practice is of the tune of around 1,500 plus questions. The theory from chemistry NCERT is also present in this book in a very concise manner. So you need not go through the chemistry NCERT book after going through this BITSAT prep guide book. And this BITSAT prep guide, the name of the book that you are talking about is actually BITSAT study guide. I haven't heard about a book by the name of BITSAT prep guide. So if you can just elaborate as to which book you are talking about, so I can be able to throw more light on it. As far as our book goes, it goes by the name of BITSAT study guide. And this book is more than enough for the preparation for BITSAT, because along with this book, you will be also getting 2 free tests, which you will be able to answer in the exact BITSAT environment. And you will be getting a detailed personalized plan and a detailed personalized improvement report for the next 7 days. In addition to that, you can also look ahead towards the BITSAT test series that we provide, which has been used by quite a number of students over the past 5 years. And most of our students who have used it or who have taken it are in the BITS campuses. For example, Sai Vineet mm, and Ronaldas. Then KNV Kishore has asked, what is the paper pattern? So you basically are asking about the type of questions that is asked in BITSAT. So in BITSAT, there are 4 sections: mathematics, physics, chemistry, and there is one section which is devoted to logical reasoning and English proficiency. In addition to that, there is a bonus section which consists of 4 questions each in maths, physics, and chemistry. You are allowed to answer these 12 questions only after you have attempted and answered all the 150 questions that has been given in the 4 sections in the original paper. So in mathematics, you will be getting around 45 questions. In English, you will be getting 25 questions. So that comes to, up to around 70 questions. And in physics and chemistry, you will be getting 40 each. So you can answer these questions in a very easy manner. The user interface is very easy. You can jump from one question to another, as well as you can jump from one section to another section. If you really want to have a feel of what actually the BITSAT test platform looks like, you can go ahead and you can take a free test by just visiting our site, DoPrep.com, and you'll be able to answer a free test in the exact BITSAT test environment. And you will be also, in addition to that, you'll be getting a personalized report, which is a very detailed and comprehensive report, as well as a prediction as to which branch or discipline you will qualify if you take the BITSAT examination right now. Aman, you are basically asking about the Arihant publication book, BITSAT Prep Guide. So it must be a very good book. But Aman, what I will do is that I'll get back to you regarding this, doing a comparative analysis of the books that are present in the market, along with the analysis of our book. And you can have a look at that, and hence you can make a decision by yourself. I hope I have answered this question, Aman. So any more questions that you have, you can post it in the chat window. So in the meantime, let's just talk about how you can actually plan your study for the next 60 days for BITS 2019. So the first thing that everybody who is actually serious for this examination, or who really wants it real bad to get a seat in the BITS campuses, especially in Pilani, Hyderabad, and Goa, they should start immediately by by creating a planner. So what I actually mean by a planner is that you should be able to actually prioritize what you are going to do in a particular day, in fact, in a week, and maybe in the next full month. So you should be able to create a plan whereby all the chapters that are there in which are there in the syllabus gets covered up, as well as you have time for answering ample amount of mock tests and answering revision tests, as well as following a improvement plan, so that the marks that you are scoring in the mock tests are actually increasing and are not stagnant or going in the negative direction. So, and we can do that by a little bit of calculation. So the number of chapters roughly that are Basically, there in the syllabus are around 60 chapters. So if I look at the next 1 month plan and say you need to complete around 30 chapters in 1 month. So on a weekly basis, you need to complete around 7 to 8 chapters, which includes maths, physics, chemistry, as well as English. So for a week now, you have a target of completing 7 to 8 chapters. Now we can go and drill down on a daily basis. So on a daily basis, let's say we complete 1 chapter of 1 subject. Or we can club this chapter with another chapter of another subject. And we follow a schedule whereby we actually allot time to the activities like studying theory of that particular chapter, answering exactly the same type of questions that are going to be asked in BITSAT for practice and for concept application. And by the end of the week, we should be able to take a test which includes all these chapters, which can actually help us in revising. So in the subsequent week, the test that you take should include all the chapters which have been studied by you in week 1 as well as in week 2. So this is a little bit knowledge or talk we have actually had about planner. So if you want to know about actually how to go about a plan, and if you want to really create a more detailed plan, you can drop in a message to us, or you can give us a call, or you can give us write a mail to us at info@doprep.com. We'll get back to you and guide you through the process of creating a planner for BITSAT 2019. So let's come back to the question. Kishore has asked, practicing previous year papers are enough. So Kishore, let me just make it clarify to you that most of the questions that are present there in the name of previous year papers, they are memory-based questions. So, and the number of question papers that are actually there is only about 5 to 6 question papers. So that amounts to around 225 questions, 225 to 250 questions per subject. So the number of questions that you're actually practicing for each subject is now only 250. This will not suffice. You have to practice at least around 1,000 questions per subject in order to actually train to answering those questions in the given amount of time. So it's like if you are practicing questions of JEE Main and JEE Advanced level, you will obviously treat a BITSAT level question to be difficult. Your mind has been trained in such a way that you approach a question thinking that it will be a complex question and it will be a difficult question. So the more you practice the exact level of questions before the BITSAT examination, the more trained is your mind as to how you are going to approach a particular question which has been asked in BITS examination. And you will always be ready with the formula that you are going to apply in that particular question. I hope I have answered that question, Kishore. The next question that has been asked is, sir, do you give crash course classes for BITSAT in Gurugram? And is there any fixed ratio for class 11th and 12th questions in BITSAT? So let me just take up the second part of the question first. So is there any fixed ratio for class 11th and 12th? No, there is no fixed ratio. So BITSAT has a question bank. And this question bank consists of huge number of questions, somewhere of the tune of 15,000 to 20,000 questions. And the system automatically throws the questions just before the examination. As soon as you log in with your login credentials, the question paper that you see in front of you, or in the screen of the machine that you will be provided, will be generated at that time. And from the past papers that has been given in BITS examination, some papers may have more inorganic questions, say. Some papers may have more organic questions. It depends on the algorithm that is running at the back while creating a particular question paper. So there is no fixed ratio that they have fixed in the algorithm. Is only the number of questions that is there. That is 40 questions in chemistry, 40 questions in physics, and 45 in maths. So a particular chapter can have actually more than one question in the BITSAT paper that you will get. So I would suggest that you go through all the chapters of class 11 and 12 with equal importance and equal weightage. Okay, so I hope I have answered that question. So let me go to the first part of the question that you have asked, Aman. So Aman, we are an online education platform. So we provide all our courses via online medium. So we do not have a classroom. So if you are placed in Gurugram or any other part of the country, you can take our course if you have a network over there, and we are going to come up with a crash course for BITSAT 2019, and it will be designed around your personalized improvement plan and your study plan over the next 60 days, which will include features like test series, revision tests, concept theories, and a lot of practice questions. So if you want to immediately start, which I would suggest that you should immediately start for BITSAT, you should, why don't you go ahead and get the BITSAT study guide and start studying in the meantime, and start taking our tests which are present in the as free tests. Once you do that, we'll be actually able to know your level of preparation, and then we'll get back with a more personalized, detailed plan as to how you can go ahead and study for cracking BITSAT 2019. Kishore has asked, since we have less time, can we focus more on 12th topics? So Kishore, you do not have less time. You have more than 60 days actually when before the BITSAT examination starts. And in 60 days, you can actually prepare all the chapters which are there in the syllabus. Like I had mentioned earlier about the importance of planning, I would suggest that you take a free test on the platform. We'll have a look at your report and we'll get back to you with your detailed personalized study plan as to how you can create it. We'll guide you through it. And we'll also provide you with a plan which can actually cover your improvement in the tune of more than 100 marks than your actual level of preparation right now. So I hope I have answered that question, Kishore. So before we get any more questions, so we talked a little bit about planner. So we can go ahead and talk about other important things that you can do for your BITSAT preparation. So the next thing that we are going to talk about is the problems that most of the students face while preparing for any examination, let alone BITSAT 2019. So most of the students are not able to follow a schedule, even if they create a schedule. They are not able to improve. Say you are taking about 20 tests every week, and after each and every test you are getting the same number of marks. In fact, you are getting marks which are lower than what you actually got in the previous test. There might be instances where you do not like studying a particular subject or a particular chapter in that subject, and because of all this you are completely stressed out. So how can we actually solve all these problems that we actually face while preparing for any examination? So the only thing that we can do is we can change ourselves. So the first thing that you should do is that you should stop procrastination. That is, you should beware of student syndrome. We students develop a habit of delaying every task that they have created or planned for a particular day or a particular week, saying that we will do this later on. So the moment we do that, that gets added up in the amount of syllabus that is yet to be covered, and that creates a stress which can actually have a negative impact in your preparation. We should take up challenges. So every student should take up challenges, as in if they do not like a particular chapter, they should get down, put their heads down towards preparing for that chapter, go through the theory, go through the practice questions, take help from your peers, from your mentors, but do not avoid them. Because it may be that after you have learned that chapter may become more easy to answer than the other chapters which you are confident in the actual BITSAT examination. Obstacles. So we should persist in the face of setbacks. If you are attempting a particular question and you're not able to actually answer it, you're not actually able to solve it, do not look at the solution. Keep on trying until you have exhausted all your methods. This is very important, because while doing so, even if you are not able, you are in the process of solving that question, revising all the concepts that you have learned till date in that particular chapter. And once you have exhausted all the knowledge that you have in the chapter, you can go ahead and look at the solution. But looking at the solution merely will not help. What you have learned from the solution is the actual thing that you should be able to extract from the given solution. So that when the same type of question that comes later on or pops up in your actual BITSAT examination, you are able to answer that question. Put in effort. You need to study at least 9 hours a day, 3 hours for each subject. So in the planner, we have to create a 3-hour plan for a particular subject on a daily basis. Criticism. So if you are not learning from your mistakes or the feedback on your performance that you are getting from your mentors, then the mistakes are of no use. So we need to incorporate the learning while we are preparing for BITSAT 2019, and only then we'll be able to improve. And lastly, we should never be jealous or envious of the success of others. We should learn, or we should know as to why they are scoring more marks than me. So if you are able to actually change the attitude attitude and actually learn from the students who are actually performing well, then you yourself will be able to score higher. So if you want to know about all these things in detail, you can contact us, because our planner includes each and every feature that I have just talked about. So let's come back to the question over here. KV Kishore has asked, what is the marking scheme of BITSAT? So in BITS, you get 3 marks for every correct answer, and you are penalized 1 mark for every incorrect answer. A question which has been left unanswered, you will be provided 0 marks for that. So in total, if I look at the qualifying marks over the past 2-3 years in BITS examination, it is in the tune of 270 plus. So to be on the safer side, let's say it's in the tune of 300 plus. So in order to qualify in a BITS campus, we are not going into the specific details of the branches or the disciplines. If you want to qualify for the BITS campus, you need to attempt and answer 100 questions correctly without even a single incorrect question. So these 100 questions are from a total of 150 that is provided to you. So you need not answer all the questions, or you need not have to worry about the bonus questions while taking the first set of 150 questions. They are more than sufficient to get into a BITS campus. So we have been asked over a period of 5 years the same question: is it necessary to actually attempt bonus question? Our answer to each and every student is that no. Because what we generally tend to do is that in order to complete the 150 questions, we tend to do a lot of guesswork, and also we get more prone towards making silly errors like calculation errors, which contribute to a lot of negative marks. And there is no guarantee whatsoever that the 4 questions that you will get in each subject, excluding English, in the bonus questions will be easier questions, and which you will be actually able to answer correctly. So why even worry about that? Just take the 150 questions. First, make it a point as to clear the bare minimum marks to get into BITS campus. And then we'll start worrying about the next questions, next set of questions. So Aman, we have just provided the link of the free test over. Just if you can have a look, it goes by the name of free test series. You can click over there or the link which has been provided above, and it will take you to the free test, link of free BITSAT mock test. So you can go ahead. What should be the score to get CSC in BITS Pilani? So you can get this detail from the BITS campus also, but it will be of the tune of 370 plus. So if you want to get into Pilani, BITS Pilani campus and CSC department, you need to score at least 370 plus. This is a rough estimate. So you can add a plus minus 2 to this particular estimate, and you will generally get a fair idea. So if you take the mock test, Kishore, on our platform, you will exactly come to know which campus and which discipline you are eligible right now. and how many more marks you need to improve in order to change the campus or improve the discipline. So why don't you go ahead and take the mock test? We will get back to you with your detailed report. You will also be able to see that. We'll have a call whereby we'll interpret the report for you and also provide a plan for the improvement or the jump of marks which you require for your desired campus and discipline. For mechanical, Aman, let me just have a look at the data that I have and I'll get back to you. What I'll do, Aman, is that why don't we just provide you with a detailed PDF which gives a rough estimate or the range of marks for each and every discipline and campus. We'll provide you that PDF and you can have a look at that. And you can then make up your mind as to what discipline or campus you are actually looking for. Okay. Now, before more questions, let's go back to where we were while we were trying to actually decode as to how we can crack BITSAT in over a period of 60 days. So we came to know about schedule planner. We came to know about certain attitudinal changes which we need to apply in our learning behavior. Then lastly, let's come up to the general tips which is required for BITSAT. We have to increase the speed. By this, what I actually mean is that you should practice huge amount of questions so that you are familiar with a wide range of questions that can be asked from a particular chapter, as well as practice as many questions in the exact test environment so that you know how to manage your time. You should be able to increase accuracy along with speed. So speed does not mean that you just go ahead and mark an option. With the speed, you should also be able to mark the correct option. And these two go hand in hand. And this can only be done if you actually know your current test-taking behavior so that you can improve upon this behavior before the next test. And we provide that to you. We provide you with your detailed study about how you are taking the examination and exactly where you are committing a guesswork. So we provide you a study about an expert recommendation and also increase your scores from the previous one. While practicing at home, do not try to calculate answers with calculators. Do all the calculation manually. Learn how to go about doing approximation, especially in chemistry. And the most important tip for BITSAT is start preparation by taking a full-length mock test, which is exactly the same like the BITSAT paper in terms of level of difficulty, as well as in terms of the test-taking platform environment. Know your level and then plan for the next 60 days so that you can get a jump of 100 marks. Contact us. We will guide you through this. And remember, a minimum of 100 questions should be answered correctly and you are through. Now let's get back to the questions. So I think there are no more questions from the students who have logged in. So what we'll do is that we'll get back to you with the PDF of the marks that is range of marks, like the one which has been asked by Aman, as well as we'll get back with the comparative analysis of the books that are present in the market. In the meantime, what you can do, what I would suggest everybody to do is to go to the link, take a free mock test, get to know your level, and let's get this association over a long period of time, and let's crack BITSAT together. Thanks everybody for attending this webinar, and a very good day ahead to you from the DoPrep team. Thank you.